Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel, and I've got another brutally honest, unedited, one-take guitar unboxing and review for you today. And I've got something really special that a lot of people have been requesting. Now, I like to do these one-take, unedited videos on the more affordable guitars, and so this is another Firefly guitar. This thing costs $230. Of course, you get these from the Guitars Garden website, and this is the, let's say, Zakk Wylde inspired guitar that's on there. Now, I've covered a lot of these Eddie Van Halen inspired guitars. Of course, they're not official Eddie Van Halen endorsed guitars, and they're not exact one-to-one replicas, but they're clearly taking inspiration from famous guitar players. So this one here is going to be the single cut Les Paul style guitar with the Bullseye graphic and everything, and it looks super cool on the website. So I'm excited to get this open and check it out and see how it plays. Now, there's a couple funny things about Zakk Wylde. So obviously, he's mostly known as being a longtime guitar player for Ozzy Osbourne and his band. And he also does Black Label Society, and he's done a few other things here and there, you know, guest performances and so forth. But I think Zakk Wylde is one of the most imitated rock stars. And I'm not talking about his playing, I'm talking about his look. There have been so many times when I was out at a show somewhere in LA, and in the distance, I'm like, hey, that's Zakk Wylde. And then I get closer, I'm like, oh, no. That's somebody who looks almost exactly like Zakk Wylde. You know, they do the beard, they've got the Black Label, like, biker vest on, and some, like, Viking braids and all this stuff. And people love, I don't know, they gravitate towards that style, and they love to imitate it just like exactly, to the point where I have never talked to Zakk Wylde in person, but I've many times talked to people that I thought were Zakk Wylde and turned out to not be. Anyway, kind of a fun thing, but his signature guitar, I mean, this is not his signature guitar, but his guitars that he's known for playing with that Bullseye graphic are super cool. So I'm happy to be checking out Firefly's take on this type of guitar. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. We'll unbox this thing, and I'll just say real quickly here, guys, that if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool, new, especially affordable guitars, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Now, the other thing I will mention is that I've got my audio already running here because, you know, as of right now, we're not going to do any edits. We're not going to do any cuts, anything like that. What you see is what you get with the unboxing. And I've got the audio running. Okay. And we're going to plug that in once we get it out of the box. But the other thing is, because it's, you know, I'm doing this Zakk Wylde style thing here, I've got a wah pedal hooked up in addition to my normal rig. So I've got a Dunlop 535Q Crybaby wah pedal, and then that's going into my Boss IR200 amp and cabinet simulator. So that's what you're hearing in the video. So let's go ahead and get this thing open here. Going to open both ends of the box to make this thing, should just slide out really easily. Okay, there we go. Okay, and yeah, these things, Firefly has come such a long way with their packaging. They've got these great styrofoam inserts. I know I always talk about this, but it's kind of, you know, the packaging might seem like a minor detail, but if your guitar shows up damaged, that's not a minor detail. And good packaging will prevent or help prevent damage to the guitar. Okay, so let's crack this bad boy open. Now, the other thing here is I've got my scale that I'm going to use here in a second, because it's a little on the heavy side. I can tell you that right now. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so got the standard cable and truss rod. Same thing that every Firefly guitar comes with. And let's pull this out. Nice, perfect fit there. in the styrofoam. There we go. And see what we've got here. Yeah, this looks really nice. Oh man, that's cool. Okay, so gold hardware. Is this real here? Yeah, it is. It even has the brass truss rod cover, which is awesome. Come on. All right, come on. We don't have time for this nonsense here. Let's get this out of here. Ooh, look at that. Oh, man. Look at that. That looks great. The graphic, it's very crisp. That's really cool. Okay, so the Bullseye graphic on the front. Now, one thing, this graphic is a little different than the way it's done on like the Epiphone or the Gibson guitars, you know, like the official Zakk Wylde guitars. The Bullseye is a little bit different. It's also a slightly different color. Those are more of like a cream, and this is more of like a white, just an Arctic white or something like that. But yeah, now at the end of the video, what I'll do is, this is going to be unedited, one take all the way through until we get to the end, and then I'm going to show you guys, you know, some close-ups. I'll cut the camera and we'll do some nice close-up shots and stuff so you can see all the details of this. But yeah, the graphic, the top is very, very crisp. Even where it meets the fretboard here, where you might expect it to be a little, you know, not so good. No, it's very, very nice. The binding looks good. So it's the graphic on the front. The back is just white with a multiply binding. And then the other thing that's really cool is look at the back of the neck there, right? So this is masked off, and to there on the back of the headstock the paint is. Now what's interesting though, there's two things. One is one is that actually I think this is a little different than what was on the website. I thought the paint ended in a different spot. Not a big deal. The other thing is that this is still a gloss finish, so it's masked off and then it's a gloss finish, so it's only the color that's different. I would prefer if this went to a satin finish here. I always prefer a satin finish or a matte finish or something on the back of a neck. I think that makes moving around on the fretboard much easier, smoother, and all that stuff. Especially if you're dressed up in your Zakk Wylde Viking outfit and you've just had a bunch of beers and you go to play this thing, you're going to be sweating all over this thing. And usually on a gloss finish like that, your hand kind of drags and everything. So it looks really, really cool, but I think it would be even more functional if it just had a satin finish on it. Now, the rest of it, we're going to tune this up in just a second here, but I got to say, fit and finish-wise, this guitar looks just perfect. A couple things I want to point out. As far as the construction and materials, it's pretty standard. Mahogany body, mahogany neck. Of course, it's a set neck. Rosewood fretboard. It's got 22 of the stainless steel rounded ball end frets that we love so much on these new guitars. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful frets. The ends of the frets don't quite reach the edge of the fretboard, which is nice because if the wood shrinks a little bit, if it dries out and then shrinks a little bit, which is very common, when the frets are right up to the edge of the fretboard, you can get fret sprout, or, you know, where the ends of the frets actually go past the fretboard and then it gets all nasty and sharp on the corners. Because these are a little short, this can accommodate a little bit of change in the wood. So the wood can shrink a little bit and you don't have that problem. A little bit of fuzz there, I'll get rid of that. So yeah, we'll check out, make sure we don't have any buzzing in just a second. But yeah, the frets are certainly done beautifully on this guitar. Now the other thing is these pickups are simply covered passive pickups. They're not, you know, there's no battery compartment, they're not active pickups. So that's another difference from a, you know, like an Epiphone or a Gibson Zakk Wylde guitar. Those have EMGs, I believe, in there. So other than that, standard 3-way toggle switch, 2 volume, 2 tone, 2-nomatic bridge and tailpiece. Yeah, so let me do a couple measurements here. Let's check out the weight. This is 8.6 pounds, okay? 8.6 pounds. So, you know, for a single cut, full thickness style like this, that's not terribly heavy, but it's not a light guitar, certainly. Okay, now I'm also going to measure the nut here. 43 millimeter nut, pretty standard, what you'd expect. This neck, it's not thick, but it's not thin. So let's check out the neck here. At the first fret, just bear with me for a second here. It's always a little tricky. And about right there. So I'm showing 22.3, somewhere between 23 and 24 millimeters thickness here. And it looks very consistent. It doesn't get any thicker. It actually stays about the same, almost exactly the same as you go down the neck. So it's probably like 23 here and 24 millimeters here in terms of the thickness of the neck. And kind of a C-shape, pretty standard, you know, C-shape round neck on here. Okay, now let's get this sucker plugged in and tune it up and see how we do here. All right. Pardon the noise here. I want you to know this is live. There we go. Yeah, look at that thing. It's a great looking guitar. Get my tuner up here. Should we do E flat? A lot of songs are in E flat. So nice smooth tuners here. Okay, real quick guys, I'm actually gonna adjust the camera slightly. We're getting a little overexposed here. There we go. That's a little too much. Okay, there we go. Okay. You know, you got to be able to get those pinch harmonics, right? I'm going to stretch these strings a little bit. Okay. Let's tune it one more time. And that D is holding rock steady. too bad. Let's kick on the wah pedal here. There we go. Move that over a little bit. Woo! One of my favorite Zakk Wylde licks there. Descending sixes, pentatonics, right? All right, so that was all on the bridge pickup. Let's check out the neck pickup here. Yep, those are all up. One thing that surprises me is these are not terribly hot pickups. I was expecting them to be very hot, but they're pretty average. Okay, let's go middle position. Not bad. All right, let's check out some clean tones. And how are we doing on tuning here? Remember, we're in E flat, half step down tuning. That was on the neck pickup. Let's go to the bridge pickup. Nice difference between the neck and the bridge pickup. Never gets, the guitar never gets super bright, which, you know, I think you'd expect for a guitar like this. Yeah, the neck pickup especially, I really like. Let's put our wah back on. The wah's got a little boost on it. Woo! Not bad. Okay, so playability-wise, guys, yeah, it really, you know, I'm not getting any buzzing or choked notes or anything like that. No fret problems, no high frets, certainly nothing on the corners. The neck is, you know, it's not a shred neck. It's not like an Ibanez Wizard neck or something like that. Like I said, 23 to 24 millimeters, so it's maybe a little bit thicker, a little bit on the thicker side, but again, it's not like a big baseball bat neck or anything like that. But I guess if you're going for this kind of thing, you know, a single cut style guitar that has the look of this, you know, the big Viking guy. I mean, I know he's not a Viking, but you know what I mean. That's the style that of neck that Zakk Wylde goes for. So I guess it's kind of true to you know, where the inspiration is coming from. To me, the two kind of downsides, I'll put 2.5 because I see something here, is the fact that the paint is masked off on the back of the neck, but it's still a gloss finish. I wish it was a matte or a satin finish. And then the other thing is these are not hot pickups. You know, you're going to be playing this guitar with a lot of gain and everything, and you normally would expect to have really high output, powerful pickups on a guitar like this, and this guitar doesn't have them. Now, these pickups are not bad by any means, but I guess they're not, I guess it doesn't quite fit the rest of the guitar. I'll put it that way. So if you got this guitar, you'd probably, you know, and you were going to use this for playing, you know, the Ozzy albums and that kind of stuff, you would probably end up swapping the pickups to something with some, you know, more punch to them, let's say. The other thing, and I've noticed this on some of the other single cut Firefly guitars, is this binding on the headstock gets really, really thick for some reason. It starts right here. You know, it's a kind of a normal thickness on the neck, and then it gets quite a bit thicker when it goes around the headstock to where almost half of the side of the headstock is the binding. It's like a sandwich or something, right? It just, maybe a cookie, okay, with a binding and headstock cookie, 2 layers. Probably delicious, but it's one of these things where once you see it, it keeps kind of grabbing your attention. And I'm not really sure why that is, because the binding is not that thick anywhere else on the guitar. So, and this is a minor thing. The thickness of the binding or the height, it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever, right? But just visually, it looks like it doesn't become binding anymore. It's almost like a siding veneer on the headstock or something. Very minor thing. Doesn't really affect the playability at all, but just visually it's a little like, huh, wonder why they did that. But yeah, guys, overall, I mean, this thing is super, super cool. And again, $230 for these guitars. It's got some nice little details, like the brass truss rod cover. It says Elite on there from the Firefly Elite series. Also, some other little details. These, you know, these are recessed cavity covers on the back here, and they're very, you know, they're cut very nicely, cut very clean. There's no little bits of plastic sticking up, and they fit down in there the way they're supposed to. Some of these more affordable guitars, you know, these sub $300 guitars, you won't find that stuff on there. So very, very nice. You know, great job, Firefly, overall. And yeah, I think if you're looking for something, you know, you want to play in like an Ozzy cover band or something, or a Black Label Society cover band, do they even have those? If you were going to do something like that and you want to bring a guitar with you to play in the bars, and if the guitar gets destroyed by people dumping beer on it, and you know, your drunken bass player mistaking it for his bass and then smashing it, you know, if problems like that are top in your list of concerns, this is such a great choice because it's going to be a great guitar. Maybe consider swapping the pickups in, but everything else is ready to go for you to just rip it out of the box and, you know, and play some wicked Zakk Wylde riffs. And, you know, it can do the, arguably the most important Zakk Wylde is you could do all those wicked pinch harmonics and pig squeals and all that stuff. If the guitar couldn't do that, then it would be a total loss, but this guitar absolutely can do it. Okay, guys, that is pretty much it. That's the end of my unedited one-take unboxing and review. Again, 8.6 pounds on the weight, and I will have links for everything I was talking about down below: the guitar, the wah pedal, also the Boss IR200. But wait, I'm still going to give you some nice, juicy, close-up photos of this guitar so you can see the detail and the craftsmanship and the overall build quality, especially with this top and the graphic and everything, because it's really worth taking a close look at it. Okay, guys, but let me know what you think about this down in the video description below. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the one-take style review for this guitar. I've been doing a lot of these lately for the more affordable guitars. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Okay, guys, if you enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon, and here are some nice close-ups.